G'day guys and welcome back today to another video on the Freo Faithful YouTube channel. In the last video, we spoke about 5 players that are primed to have a breakout season. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 players who need to have a big season. Players that have been in a bit of a struggle for whatever reason, who need a big year in 2025 to secure a successful career for themselves and bring their own strengths to the football club. 1,000 subscribers is the goal we are aiming for on Freo Faithful. So make sure if you're a Dockers fan, you are subscribed to the #1 fan channel of the Fremantle Dockers and leave a like on the video to support the growth of this channel. Let's get into it. The first player I want to discuss is a player who was taken in the same draft as Jye Amiss and Matt Johnson. That is Erasmus, who all Freo fans want to do well at our football club. His talent is undeniable. He was a top-end talent and highly touted going into that draft. But unfortunately, our midfield is just super stacked with a former AFL MVP in Andy Brayshaw, who's just signed until 2031, Caleb Sarong, who's a top 5 Brownlow player, Hayden Young, Nathan Fife, who's a 2-time Brownlow medalist. This midfield's so stacked, and he just can't find his way to earn his spot and maintain it, because as soon as these sort of starting mids are available, Erasmus just gives way straight away. He seems to dominate in the waffle, Erasmus. He got best on ground in the grand final for Peel, but he hasn't sort of had the opportunity to display his best form consistently, and he just doesn't, I don't know, he always leaves more to be desired when he plays. Obviously, that just comes with not being able to find your feet at the AFL level, not being able to play consistently. But a game that really sticks out to me is that Essendon game last year where he got dominated in the midfield and got subbed off. If we had Nat Fife in that game, there's no doubt we would have won. But I'm sure he's had a big off-season. He's primed. He wants to fight for his spot. He's said that. If Erasmus can get to that 50-60 game mark and guys like Nat Fife and Jager O'Meara give way, maybe he matures and enters his prime and becomes a really important player for us. I wouldn't mind seeing him play a bit of forward in that sort of Sam Sturt role, that third tall type. But at the moment, I'm not sure where Erasmus fits best, and he needs a big season for his own confidence as a player. Number 2 is the big fridge, Sean Darcy, who on his day is one of the best ruckmen in the competition. Unfortunately, he has just been hit with injury after injury since signing a massive contract only a few years ago. On top of that, the emergence of Luke Jackson has got the media talking about how much of a role Sean Darcy can play. Every Freo fan knows that this ruck duo will work, and that was evident on the weekend with Luke Jackson playing second ruck to Liam Reedy. But we all want to see Sean Darcy do well, because we know when he's playing consistent footy, he's one of the best rucks in the comp. He had a great game last year against Sydney where he displayed his best, but he just wasn't able to stay on the park. 2025 is a critical year for Sean Darcy to remain injury-free and remind everyone of who he is, and that is one of the best hit-out rucks in the comp. He's had a massive off-season in the gym every day by all accounts. He had a surgery to get a screw removed not too long ago, but you'd expect him to play more than 15 games this year and hopefully be there at the end of the year as we make a push for finals and hopefully for that premiership. The third player who needs a big year for the Fremantle Dockers is Jye Amiss. He is our highest rated forward prospect we've ever taken in the draft at the club. In his first year, they gave him the nickname Nev because he would never miss a set shot, but unfortunately that nickname probably doesn't hold true after last season. He was very inaccurate when you've sort of set that standard of being such a dead-eye shot, and then he sort of lost that a bit in 2024. Don't get me wrong, Jye Amiss is a very important player to us, and he had some great games in 2024, but we just need a little bit more consistency from him. Obviously, I think this is only his 3rd season in the league, or maybe last year was his 3rd season in the league. Obviously, in his first season, I think he only played 2 games and then had that kidney injury. But we just need to see consistent footy from Jye Amiss and a consistent scoreboard impact. Because I feel like there's games, he is our deepest lying forward, but there's games where he sort of has 6 to 7 touches and doesn't really impact the game at all. We just need consistent impact from Big Jye. He's got all the talent in the world. He's got a great build. He throws himself at marking contests, and he's a really high IQ player. He's vital to the structure of our forward line. We just need to see more end product from Jye Amiss in 2025. Number 4, this might be a controversial one for some, but I'm going to put Michael Frederick in for a player that needs a big season. Don't get me wrong, Michael Frederick can have games where he kicks bags of 3 or 4 and he's absolutely untouchable. But similar to Jye Amiss, he has games where he just disappears and doesn't have an impact on the game at all. Michael Frederick sort of plays that half-forward flank role. Sometimes he rotates up to the wing. Obviously, his best attribute is his running and his speed, so you do want him higher up the ground. But he spreads the ground really well as well. So I'm keen to see what his sort of mix is of playing high half forward or maybe a deep forward that can create that spread as we counter-attack. But nevertheless, we just need consistent output from Michael Frederick. Even guys like Sam Switkowski, who maybe don't hit the scoreboard every single week, they still provide a lot of pressure and lock the ball in our forward line. I think that's something that Michael Frederick can evolve into and improve in his game, that ability to provide defensive pressure and a bit more toughness in the tight contests. Once it's on the outside, you can't catch him, but we just need more toughness and a bit more consistent scoreboard impact from big Michael Frederick. And number 5, a player who needs a massive season for us if we are to be a successful side, is Brennan Cox. And I have no doubt in my mind that Brennan Cox will have a big year in 2025. We sort of tried him as a forward last year early on in the piece, and he had that hamstring injury, a really bad hamstring injury that ruled him out for about 3 months of the season. And when he came back, he just wasn't at the pace. He got absolutely dominated by Jeremy Cameron and Jesse Hogan. Tough assignments to come back into the league to after such a serious injury, but he just did not look anywhere near his best in the back end of last year. In the Community Series game against Melbourne, he looked really good. His one-on-one ability was back to its best. And we've seen how good of a player Brennan Cox can be. He's made the All-Australian squad before. If we can get consistent games into him, Luke Ryan, Alex Pearce, and Heath Chapman, if they can all stay on the park, we're going to be the best defence in the league. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And I think Brennan Cox is a vital player in the spine of our side who needs to have a big 2025 for the Dockers to be successful. So we want to see Neil Erasmus coming in and making an impact. Sean Darcy playing consistent footy. Jye Amiss hitting the scoreboard and getting more of the ball this year, same as Michael Frederick, and Brennan Cox to just stay on the park and get back to his best. That's what we want to see. Have your say in the comments. Who do you think needs a big year for the Dockers in 2025? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to join the Freo Faithful, and we will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.